Oh my lord, look at this recoil. Jesus Christ. So it goes like I mentioned on my YouTube post, I'm going to do a video about minimizing recoil on any given weapon system to its minimum. And today I'm going to be executing this process using M4A1 as my model. It is a very good weapon, it's very cheap and it's very versatile. It has everything you can have on a weapon, on a rifle, so it is a good choice to showcase how I reduce the recoil as well. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with increasing the weight of those weapon configurations. I forgot to mention the only factor that attribute to the recoil of any weapon like rifles, pistols. It is only about the weight. It is about the cumulative mass. And the heavier your weapon system has, the lower recoil you will have, which will give you a better weapon control. Okay, so after I mentioned about how recoils work, I'm going to start by making those weapon configurations the heaviest one. Starting with stock, there's multiple different options, but all of those stock options weigh the same. So it is their appearance is the only difference. One thing to bear in mind is that when I switch between different options, you can see this recoil breakdown graph on the bottom right corner is slightly different. This is because that recoil in this game is rendered differently per shot. It is rendered like randomly, but the recoil you get on a weapon system in general does not change. You know, it only depends on the weight. So even if it looks slightly different, the recoil only in general you will get will be the same. So I'll choose this one since like I like it better. In terms of grip, there's a lot of difference. There's a battle grip that weighs the heaviest. So if I'm going with minimized recoil, I'm going with battle grip. Okay, and for the magazines, Marine Time is the heaviest one. It could be quite perplexing and confusing that a 40 round magazine weighs lighter than the Marine Time. Well, even though it might weigh more in terms of common sense, in this game, weight is the only one that matters. So Marine Time will be our choice, so we're going with the minimized recoil. Ammo doesn't matter. M856 is a tracer round, red tracer round, bear that in mind, but I'm going with M855. In terms of barrel and handguard, they are often viewed together. Before you select the length of your barrel, make sure that you select the handguard first, because barrel really depends on what handguard or slide you're using. So this one weighs the heaviest, and in terms of barrel, I can't find any difference. You know, I think it's just a cosmetic difference. So I'll just go with this option. And in terms of charging handle, the Jawbreaker charging handle is the heaviest one. I don't think there's any difference between those three besides their appearance. So definitely go with the charging handle. It's a free recoil reduction boost. In terms of your muzzle otherwise. You need to calculate the weight of your flash hinder and silencer combined together. If I can have this one, it weighed 4280, but if I add this one, it will weigh 4175. So flash hinders are completely different from each other, so does the silencers. So when you calculate the weight, make sure to calculate the weight of both flash hinder and silencer. So I think, yeah, this flash hinder is the heaviest, and this subcom suppressor is the heaviest silencer as well. So I'm definitely going with this one. After I finish off the weapon configurations on my weapon, I'll be adding more attachments on the accessory interface. In terms of this accessory interface that is closer to your face, before adding a optic, you need to add an optic riser and an accessory riser. This basically gives us more space for you to occupy them with heavier objects, thus leading to a better recoil reduction. And another advantage of choosing an optic riser, such as NT101, and selecting it to a reverse configuration, is that you can put your primary optic, like a primary optic, closer to your face. Right, without adding an optic riser, your primary optic can only be at this distance. And if you add a optic riser like this, you can put it all the way back to your face. Right, there will be a larger window on your screen, and thus you can aim better and shoot better, while you can have a lower recoil. And for me, I prefer a magnified optic, and PA11 is the heaviest magnified optic. This offset optics does not have any difference in terms of recoil, so I'm going to go with a actual offset optic that gives us a additional weight, right? So the heaviest offset optic will be this one. It is called the SU278, and after we add the offset optic, after I added a magnified optic as my primary optic, make sure to double check if you can still equip a fast tab, right? This thing is this item that can occupy the least amount of space on a rail panel. So make sure to double check before you say, okay, I finished occupying of my accessory interface. So I'm going to drag my fast tab out to closer to my face so that you guys can have a better view. After I scroll all the way down to the list and I cannot find anything else, that means that this accessory interface is fully occupied. I cannot add anything more. And this is basically the method we're going with for the other accessory interfaces, including the ones to the front. And for the one to the bottom, I'm going to equip an accessory riser called Swift Accessory Riser. It basically gives us more space to perform with. And on the top, going with a scar panel. In terms of rail panel, scar panel is a no-brainer because scar is the heaviest one. And then rib rail panel takes the second priority because they are the second heaviest one. And ladder panel are the least heaviest one. But sometimes ladder panel 3 slot could still be available on you, so make sure to check it out before you say, okay, I finished optimizing this accessory interface. Okay, after I have this accessory riser ready, let me just double check if I can add anything else. And yeah, I can add plenty of stuff on this accessory interface before I move on to the next one. So I'm going to add a iron sight. The C7C8 is the heaviest rear iron sight, while this fixed front sight is the heaviest front sight. I'll just add this one to right here, and I think yeah, this rail is fully occupied as well. Okay, and then I'm going with this rail. That is the one further to my face, and then it's the top one. In terms of rear iron sight, this one is the heaviest one. I'm going to go with this one, and there's those offset iron sights that is definitely worth a try. There are those two. Ideally, you can equip both of them if you have enough space, but if you can't, make sure to equip the rear offset iron sight because it weighs more than the front one. But in this case, I can equip both of them, so I'm going to equip both of them. And then this route is not finished yet. I'm going to move on the laser first before adding other rail panels. For the flashlight, this one, the one I'm hovering over on, it has a larger window. It has a higher power, so basically covers more space. It has a bigger brightness, but the M952B is the heaviest one. Well, it still illuminates at a decent amount. And for the laser one, the Claim 3 laser aiming module is the heaviest one. While this one has the highest power, but Claim 3 still does a very good job, so I'm definitely going to go with that one. And in terms of foregrip, for pistol grip is the heaviest foregrip you can have in this game. So definitely go with this one. I don't think there's any practical difference between different foregrips. And one thing to equip on the front accessory interfaces is a front sling mount. It weighs by a decent amount, and it can reduce your recoil by a certain amount. So it's like a free recoil reduction hack. And after you have the foregrip and the front sling mount, make sure to add a stabilization device. This one is the heaviest one. Yeah, right here. This one is the heaviest one as BRM. And after you finish all of them, make sure to add a remote switch. Right here. Yeah, just add. I prefer adding a remote switch on the top just for accessory reasons. You know, just looks better. It looks cool, but doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything else. Okay. After we have all of our essential weapon attachment on our weapon, it is time to put some rail panels on. Like I mentioned before, Scar is a no-brainer in terms of rail panels because it is the heaviest one. So definitely go with Scar. After that, after this ladder panels restart is still available for me, so I'm going to get that. And then I'm going to go with Scar. And I can still have a Scar panel 5 slot. I'm going to go with this 5 slot one. And I can still have a 3 slot, which is pretty cool. And then moving on to the right accessory interface. Scar is a no-brainer. Sorry. Scar panel 16 slot. Scar panel 5 slot. And a ribbed cover panel, because like I mentioned, this one takes the second priority. And for the top round panel, I'm going to go with the Scar one. And then it is ladder panel 3 slot. And then boom, we're done. This is how you customize your weapon configurations and your accessory interface on a M4A1 to make it the least amount of recoil possible and for a optimized handling. For some users that are playing open world and like the zombies potentially, you might need to swap this PA11 optic because it doesn't do anything at a high magnification level. So if you want, you can definitely equip this Raider HD Gen 2 E magnification optic. It's still weighed by a lot, so definitely give you a certain amount of recoil reduction, but it is not the happiest. But it's still magnified better, so just bear that in mind. If you want to equip the Raider one, I don't think you can equip anything else besides your magnified optic and your offset optic. So if that's the case, then you're all set. Okay, now let's actually test out the difference they want. Let's see. I'm going to empty the mag by aiming all the way down. So it goes like 2 and 2 block, a little bit over, right? A little bit over 2 block. Then I'm going to see the result of a default M4A1 without any optimization left. The result should be pretty obvious. Let's see. Oh my lord, look at this recoil! Jesus Christ. I don't think I have to say anything. This one, you're not able to shoot an M4 like this. The recoil is too insane. Right? So, in the end, the optimization really matters.